Hello everyone. Let me introduce you to one of the strong pillars at Transformatrix, Mr. Dolphy Mascarenhas, the co-founder of Transformatrix Global Private Limited, Infinity Capital and Global Recruits, with an unwavering passion for international hiring. Yours presenting, Mr. Dolphy Mascarenhas. Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of Boardroom Buzz with Transformatrix. Today, I'm joined with Mr. Dolphy Mascarenhas, the co-founder of Transformatrix Global Private Limited, Infinity Capital and Global Recruits. He leads the team of international hiring here at Transformatrix and has been a very strong support system here. So, how are you feeling, sir?
I'm feeling great.
Okay, so I have a wonderful conversation ahead of us. I am looking to gain a lot of insights from you, as well as the viewers are very excited to know more about you, as you have been such a great host here at Transformatrix. So, you have been an inspiration to many here on the team. On the floor, you have been a great inspiration to many. So, who is that one person who is an inspiration to you?
I think the answers are pretty similar within the board. My answer would be the same. Yes, it's my wife who drives, which is the driving force behind me, and the amount of inspiration and the amount of motivation that I get from her. So she's a strong-headed woman, and I get a lot from that. So I would say that the inspiration comes from home, and then the rest is whatever you see over here.
Right. I feel like family is a very strong driving force for
Absolutely. Anytime.
Great. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, that the team over here is always rooting for you. Always they seek to gain inspiration from you every day. So how do you motivate them on a daily basis to achieve their targets, to go towards, because international hiring is not an easy thing. You're sitting in India and you're hiring for other countries. How do you motivate them?
See, the one thing that I very strongly believe in is every individual has to have that in them, to go and get it. If you don't have that fire in you, you just come, fill your 8 hours, and then you leave. So that is not how it should be. And the other thing that I always encourage is mistakes happen. And when you get up after making mistakes is when you start learning. So I tell people that go ahead and make mistakes. Okay, go ahead and fall flat on your face. Only then will you rise. Only then you will experience that, okay, what it feels like, what failure feels like. And then the rest, they're all having that thing of going and performing. If you tell somebody, oh, you failed, and you put that person down, the next time he will not even attempt. He'll be so cautious that he will not even go and make that attempt of even though he knows that he could be successful.
Right.
So it's always better to encourage people to go and fall flat on your face, but go ahead and do it. Take up a challenge and face it. So that's how I try and motivate people that, okay, what's the worst that can happen? You might lose a client, you might lose a candidate, but there's so much more. It's not the end of the world.
Correct. So being self-motivated is, I think, very important. And even though you are facing failures, recruitment is a place where you may come face to face with failure almost at the every point. But it's very important to be self-motivated, right? And the team, I guess, you push them to be very self-motivated.
I always try to do that, because if you say that you're going to fail, of course you're right, you're going to fail. But within you need to have that, okay, you're going to go and do it and you're going to excel. So that's where the difference lies, and failure is part and parcel. today when we talk about the recruitment industry, candidates joining, not joining, I mean, it's part and parcel. It's something that we have to take it in our stride, uh, with a pinch of salt. That failures might happen, candidates may not join, the assignment might go to somebody else. But yes, you need to keep going. You need to keep doing what you're doing. I mean, persistence is key.
Wonderful. So, in international hiring and in normal hiring as well, since I spoke about the challenges, I mean, there are many things that you may be facing in international hiring specifically. That are there any challenges that you want to highlight that you must have faced as a team or maybe individually as well?
See, hiring in the Indian context or local hiring, and then when you're hiring internationally, these are two very different aspects. Because within India, they know people. When you tap, when you're talking to candidates, they know where they're going. But when you're talking about international, if that person has been abroad, he knows what he's getting into. If the person doesn't know, we are there to guide. We need to educate him to the T that what it is to go outside of the Indian context. So that is where our skill sets come to play. When we handhold candidates and make them so comfortable that they exactly know where they are going, they exactly know the culture that they're going to fit into, they exactly know their career graph there. So at the end of the day, it's all about how you manage the expectations of individuals. One is, on one side, you're handling the expectation of the candidate who you're proposing to the client. And on the other side, even for the client, it is important that they get the right candidate. So they also very much depend on us to ensure that they're having the right talent onboarded. So that is where we come into the picture. That is where we make a difference to both the client and the candidates. Where we give them the right fitment, we give them people who are going to excel, and they're going to help the organization excel.
Right.
So that's the role that we play as an HR organization.
Definitely. And as you mentioned, since we are in recruitment, that's our specialization. It's very, important to kind of balance between the candidate as well as the client. You can't only focus on any one, right? You have to make sure that both are happy and both are, kind of they have that satisfaction at least. So we need to maintain that and we need to ensure that that is fulfilled. So what will you say is your key mantra to have a good client relationship?
To have a good client relationship, it is very important that we know our client. See, without knowing with whom you want to build your relationship, how are you going to build your relationship in the first place?
Right.
So knowing the client, where they come from, the background of the organization, background of where this person is. And another thing that I would very much like to highlight is we are in the business of human beings. We manage human capital, and since we are talking about humans, we are talking about emotions, we are talking about the finer aspects of an individual. So if we are not able to connect with the individual, we are not going anywhere forward with the relationship. So it's so important to know the other individual, to know other person, to know the other person, to ensure that we build that rapport and take it to the next level.
Correct. So I believe that, as you said, that we are in the business of human beings. It's probably one of the most difficult things out in the industry is because a human being is unpredictable, and getting to know them and understanding what they need, what they want first is very important. So the profession of an HR, I mean, it's very diverse, lot of things to look after, and you've been in this field for a long time. What would you say are the must-have skills that an HR professional should have to be in this career?
The only one word that comes to my mind when you talk about it is empathy. So any individual needs to have it in them, how to empathize. When you're talking to the other person, the candidate or the client, I mean, they're going through diverse set of challenges. You don't know their mindset when you're talking to them. So empathy takes you a long way. First of all, you need to um, empathize with the individual and set the ball rolling, or you have to catch up with that person on the same platform, and that is where things start moving. They open up more, they find comfort, they find that, okay, here is the person who's listening to me. You need to give them a listening here,
Definitely.
which is a very important aspect of building that rapport and that connect with the individual that you're going to talk to. And the same goes on the client side also. They are also having a diverse set of challenges in terms of hiring, in terms of the pressures that they have within the organization. So if you don't have empathy towards your client also, you are again losing something. You are not able to give your 100% over there, or you may not be able to hit it there. So empathy is something that we need to inculcate. If we don't have, we need to build on it.
I totally agree with that. I mean, as all HRs here on floor would agree, that's the number one thing that's told to us when we enter, this career field, is that building empathy is very important, because you can't keep a candidate or you can't keep a client if you cannot, build that relation with them on that level. You have to be on the same page, and you need to know what their needs are so that you can coordinate with them really well. If you don't have that empathy, then you're going to lose connection and you're going to lose something or the other at some point.
Absolutely.
So that's an incredible insight, I have to say. Okay, so before I wrap up with this, with the final question, we'll have a quick, rapid fire round, because just a few things to give an insight into your personality as well. So, quickly, books or movies?
Movies, anytime.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Alright. Indoor activities or outdoor activities?
Both, a little bit of both.
Okay. Fine. City life or countryside?
Country.
Alright.
Anytime.
Anything you want to elaborate on why countryside?
You can breathe. You can breathe in a countryside, and I mean, that is what you look forward to. But then at the end of the day, you are stuck in a city. There is no escape. You are in a city, and I look forward to some long drives, or going to a countryside where you can actually just connect with the nature and breathe. So it's just a part of me that wants to explore the countryside.
I can definitely vouch on that. It's really, really important to kind of get outside of the fast-paced life here. The countryside definitely gives you that comfort and that warmth that you need.
Absolutely.
So you've had a lot of great achievements in your life, and you have been a great inspiration to everyone. But what is that one achievement that has stood out to you, in your entire career till now?
It was a long, catering to the international market all these years, almost 2 decades, was something that I have done. But the biggest achievement that I made it happen was setting up our office in Dubai. So Infinity Capital is something that we have in Dubai, which is going to cater to the entire GCC and the African continent. We have a strong team there who are doing anything and everything possible for us to take those big strides. And come year 2024, we are really looking at giving some good inputs and giving some good numbers from our team in Dubai. So to all of the people that are going to watch us, and look, I would tell them to look out for more that will be coming from us. So all the best.
Thank you so much for that. The Dubai office that's come up in Infinity Capital, it's totally like something that is very commendable. I mean, you add the global in Transformatrix Global Private Limited, and now we are actually
You're actually global.
global. So that's something that needs to be applauded, and I believe the team is so happy that we have this thing on our back. It's really inspirational for everyone, right? So before we end, Dolphy sir, if there is any advice that you want to give to the new people who are just entering the career setup, who just are trying to build towards a great life in the corporates or as an entrepreneur, if there's any advice you want to give to the viewers?
See, we have been advocating this to various during various forums that we've addressed, even to our people who call on us asking for advice. There is one thing that we always, or this is the one and only thing that we always tell people is follow your passion.
Right.
Because if you follow your passion and what you want to do in life, you'll never be working. You will always be enjoying whatever you do. It could be anything that you take up. I mean, today there is digital media, there is you are creating videos, you're or even taking sport. If you think that that's your passion, go ahead and achieve something. Singing, you got so much of talent, go ahead. Just because somebody else is pursuing something else, you say no, I'm going to compete with that person. It doesn't work. We individuals are all built differently. We have a different calling, all of us. So one has to identify your calling, one has to identify what is it inside me that makes me tick. Once you've identified that, you don't have to listen to anybody in this world. You listen to yourself and you just go ahead and achieve what you are meant to achieve.
I think that's a very comforting advice, because a lot of people are very confused, and especially they say that the newer generation is very confused, but that's not the case. But it's kind of levels on it's on different levels. Many people are confused on what they have to do in life, but once they get that calling that okay, this is my passion, I need to move towards that, and they are instantly successful in what they do because they're just so dedicated towards their passions, right? So I believe that would be a great advice to our viewers: to find your passion, do focus on knowing yourself first before you get into a career that will be fruitful to you as well. So thank you so much, Dolphy sir. You have been an amazing interviewee, I have to say, because your advices are something that we stand by here at Transformatrix, and now the viewers will learn a lot from you as well. Thank you so much once again for giving your insights to all our viewers.
Always there.
Great. So, to all our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in again to the second episode. We will be back with more content. So, make sure you follow our social media page, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and keep supporting us as we help you out in your career journey here at Transformatrix. Thank you so much.